Hello everyone, welcome to FTU Practical Guide Series. In this episode, we are going to talk about what you need to know in the booking process and how to book a ship for cable export under Incoterm CIF. Here are the full content of this video. The first part is a summary about the product and the growing demand for cable connectors. For the second part, we will discuss why it is important to research about the parties in the contract, information of the seller, buyer, port of loading, and port of discharge in the presented case. And the final part will be about the booking process itself. Now let's present the case. This is a trade between Sumitomo Vietnam Company and Goertek Company from Weifang, China. The product in the picture is Cable D Type C with the HS code 85444-299. When Sumitomo exports this product, the company does not have to pay VAT tax or export tax because cables do not belong to the list of goods subject to export tax, which are specified in Appendix 1 of Export Tariff according to the list of taxable items of Decree 125/2017 NDCP. The goods are electric cables fitted with conductors used for transmitting data or power to different devices for voltage not exceeding 1000 volt. For the packaging, Sumitomo count and seal the product before handing over to the forwarder company, which is Bondex. The quantity is 13,440 PCS, packed into 10 pallets with gross weight being 3264 kilograms, which make this a less than a container load in the export goods category. The market for cable connectors is booming. Reliable connectivity, high performance, and efficiency are the major factors boosting the market growth. Moreover, the growing demand for media and entertainment across emerging economies led to an increase in the number of television, internet subscriber, user smartphone, and tablets. These factors create an immense demand for cable connector adapters, without which effective networking cannot be established. The demand is especially high in China because of its massive consumer. The major shift from consumer electronics toward electronic components and industrial electronics are taking place, with domestic manufacturing being forced on high-value segment. This trend will drive the long-term prospect of data transmitting cable products. Therefore, despite the fact that China has already been the world's largest wire and cable producer, many Chinese companies still need to import cables, especially after COVID-19 outbreak, which halted the manufacturing and production process. For the above reason, on the date 19 July 2022, Goertek Company decided to import Cable D Type C from Sumitomo Company under CIF delivery terms. Studying about the parties in a contract is important, since a contract is a legal binding agreement between two or more parties. Once signed, these contractual agreements create a promise that certain rights and obligations will be fulfilled by each party. Therefore, by learning core information from the other party beforehand, such as vision, mission, values, scale of operation, type of service, operation method, key members, each company can understand who they are working with, their reason behind purchasing their products, and credibility to fulfill their obligation. From that, making final decision about whether they should do business with each other or not. Now, let's take a look into the two companies in our case. The seller is Sumitomo Electric Interconnect Product. They are part of the Sumitomo Electric Industries, which was founded in 1897 to produce copper wire for electrical use. Sumitomo Electric operates in multiple business fields. They have more than 400 subsidiaries and over 280,000 employees in more than 30 countries. Sumitomo Electric traditionally had an intensive focus on R&D to develop new products. Its technology have been used in major projects including traffic control in Thailand, improvement of telecom network in Nigeria, membrane technology for wastewater treatment in Korea, and bridge construction in Germany. The buyer is Weifang Goetech Electronics. They are part of a Chinese acoustic components company founded in 2001. The global headquarters of Goetech is in Weifang, and there are regional headquarters in Beijing, East China, South China, Taiwan, Japan, Europe, and America. Goetech's main focus consists of R&D, production, sales of electroacoustic components, optical components, electronic accessories, and related products. Their customers include Samsung, Apple, Sony, and Lenovo. Haiphong Port is in the north of Vietnam, with a system of modern equipment and safe infrastructure suitable for international transport. Out of the northern region, Haiphong Port has the largest scale and capacity system. Currently, the port has 5 branches. The port area has 21 piers with a total length of 3,567 meters. The total area of Chua Vẽ and Tân Vũ Port is 712,110 square meters, and another 3,300 square meters for Chua Vẽ CFS warehouse. One important thing to note is that Haiphong is just 865 kilometers away from China's manufacturing hub of Shenzhen. While a considerable journey, it is much closer than the alternatives, such as Jakarta or Bangkok, situated on the edge of the Red River Delta and with close proximity to the border of China, means transportation is more flexible. As a result, Vietnamese goods will be transported to China more conveniently. Nansha Port belongs to Guangzhou. The output of goods through Nansha Port is increasing, especially goods traded between China and Vietnam. As one of the largest seaports in the world, the number of ships arriving and departing from Nansha is always busy. Every week, the shipping schedule from Shenzhen to Haiphong and Cát Lái Port is always regular, from 5 to 8 trips a week. Transit time from Haiphong to Nansha is usually 3 days with mainly direct service. When the goods arrive at the port, the shipping line usually gives the shipper 14 to 21 days to store the container. If there is a request, additionally, the owner of the goods must notify the carrier in advance. Due to the fact that this port has long established a stable trade route to Haiphong Port, along with a decent traveling time between the two, Nansha Port is a suitable choice for this transaction. Before moving on, I will ask you this simple question. What is booking? Booking in logistics is an act of requesting space and equipment aboard a vessel for cargo which is to be transported. It is the first step towards securing transportation for goods. It takes place before any other documentation or shipping procedure occurs, as it sets into the motion the process of getting on board with the carrier and locking down space for cargo. Now, booking is usually done by a freight forwarder on behalf of the exporter or importer. A shipment can often be booked and collected within 24 hours. The recommended time to book shipment is 14 days before the cargo ready date. The first step requires the seller to give the buyer an order confirmation. An order confirmation confirms the buyer that the seller will deliver the service or product. In our case, a commercial invoice was used. It is a legal document issued by the seller to the buyer in an international transaction and serve as a contract and a proof of sale between the buyer and seller. The format of a commercial invoice can vary as long as the required information is included. Here, we have an example. It has the seller and buyer full name, Sumitomo and Goetech, address, phone number and country, description of the cable, the quantity and value, unit price in the currency of payment, in which case is US dollar, delivery under CIF to the port of Nansha, and payment term, telegraphic transfer 60 days after the invoicing month. The term telegraphic transfer was chosen because the quantity of the goods is small. The procedure of telegraphic transfer are relatively easy and simple, needing a short period to transfer money. Purchase order number VC 220000425 and its signature and date of signing. The commercial invoice will later be issued by the seller to the freight forwarder to provide necessary information for booking. The second step, request for quotation. Due to CIF Incoterm, the seller is responsible for hiring Shipment to Port Nansha. Prior to choosing the forwarding company, Sumitomo had to make offers to multiple freight forwarders. Both sides make offer until the desired price was achieved. The lower the price, the better, but the freight forwarder history should also be taken into account, whether they are credible and if there were shipping incident involved. The majority of this part can be done online. This step usually takes 24 hours. Sumitomo Company directly contact Bondex to confirm that they accept their final offer and check all necessary information that they have provided previously via invoice to Bondex, including port of departure, port of destination, quantity, type of container, intended date of departure, requirements for place to issue containers, empty and unloaded container, time port to port of destination. Before moving on, we'll talk about Bondex's background and why they are suitable. The company belongs to Bondex Group, which was established in 1996 in Qingdao, China. Bondex always focus on the supply chain and provide professional service based on the client's demand, pumped up with information and supply chain finance. Bondex create an excellent logistics platform which can provide the client one-step supply chain logistics solution. Bondex was the official logistics service provider of Shanghai Expo in 2010 and has been honored as top 5 enterprise in the list of national private logistics enterprise in the past 5 years. Now, there are more than 3,300 employees. The business area covers more than 200 ports in the world and more than 70 branches in China and overseas. Sumitomo chose Bondex due to having long-term experience in logistics that can deal with tailor-made or custom requirements. Having a close subdivision in Vietnam will make communication easier for both sides. For this step, we first need to understand what OPS means. OPS is a short form for Operation Staff. Their job is to be on port and carry out what means necessary to complete and check related documents, so the goods can be delivered. Each business department is responsible for entering new relevant shipment and submitting it to the OPS. The OPS are responsible for receiving and reviewing it within 15 minutes. Dangerous and referred cargo must be reported to the department manager for approval before operation. After reviewing the new shipment, Bondex OPS will make booking with the shipping company based on the schedule, customer requirements, and all the information received. In our case, the documents used were a copy of the commercial invoice, which was given to Gorotech by Sumitomo in the order confirmation step, and a packing list. Packing list is a commercial document indicating the net and gross weight dimensions and content of all shipping pieces in a shipment, and is issued by the seller to the forwarding company. It is an indispensable tool for ensuring the package conforms with the order placed when the seller is preparing the invoice. Each packing list should reference the shipment for which it is made, and the line item total should agree with the relevant commercial invoice. In our case, the packing list issued by Sumitomo to Bondex Company in 19th July 2022 included some important information such as the port of shipment, Haiphong Port, the date of shipment, 22nd July 2022, specification of the cables, total carton was 480 cartons, total pallets was 10 pallets, each weighing 324.6 kilograms. Based on all the information and requirement mentioned above, OPS of Bondex contact Hanh Container Transport Company, the shipping company, to choose a suitable vessel. Then they agree on a freight rate and make a booking request to Hanh. Hanh Container Transport Company was established on 13th of November 2015 with a charter capital of 200 billion Vietnam dong. The head office of the company is based in Hải City, Vietnam. More than other 7 subsidiaries are based in Da Nang, Ho Chi Minh, Bà Rịa, Vũng Tàu, Singapore, Nansha, Hong Kong, and Quinzhou. With a network of agents spread across seaports around the world, the sea freight company has signed contracts with prestigious shipping lines such as Hanh, K-Line, APL, Evergreen, MSC, and Yang Ming. The company container fleet is ranked in the top 100 largest fleet in the world according to the evaluation of Alphaliner, the world-leading maritime research organization. In addition, the domestic container transport capacity ranks among the top of Vietnam. Having long-term experience with Hải Phòng Port, procedure, and working with mainland Chinese is why Bondex chose Hanh vessel for Sumitomo's case. After receiving booking request information, Hanh Company found a suitable vessel and issued a booking note and sent a booking confirmation to Bondex Company. The booking note was then sent to Sumitomo to complete the booking procedure. A booking note is a contract for the reservation of space on board a carrier vessel. The note provides the shipper with the carrier's terms and conditions of carriage. In our case, there are many important information a booking note must include. For example, booking number HAHPH22070092EX. The carrier is from Hanh, the shipper is Bondex, and the vessel name is Hanh Part 322E. The port of loading is Hải Phòng, Vietnam. The port of discharge is Nansha, China. The cutoff time is exactly 6 p.m. of the 23rd July 2022. Estimated time of departure is the 25th of July 2022, and the estimated time of arrival is 28th July 2022. The transit port in our case is a direct route, so there is no transit port. The commodity is electric cable. The gross weight is 3,250 kilograms. The quantity type in our case is 01X20DC, which means that the quantity is one container, size 20, and the type of container is a dry container. The SOC indicators means shipper-owned container. The indicator for the ownership of Sumitomo, and in this case is the letter N. The term CY/CY essentially means container yard to container yard, referring to the carrier port or terminal where goods are dispatched and the delivery port or terminal where consignee accept the goods. The empty pickup open date is the earliest time when an exporter can pick up an empty container, which is exactly 12 a.m. on 19th July of 2022. The empty pickup cutoff time, the deadline when an exporter can pick up an empty container, is exactly 6 p.m. on 23rd of July 2022. Container yard open date, the time when exporter can start to send their goods to the container yard, is at 12 a.m. on 19th July 2022. The document cutoff time, the deadline that exporter must send the BL instruction, including container number, weight, and commodity, to the shipping line is 9 a.m. on 23rd July 2022. Verified gross weight cutoff time. This is the deadline that the exporter needs to send the container weight sheet to the shipping company. If it is not sent on time, the shipment will not be able to make BL on time. The container yard cutoff time. The deadline that exporter must send the good to the container yard is at 9 a.m. on 23rd July 2022. Custom release voucher cutoff time. The latest time for the carrier to accept the release voucher from customer. In our case, it is at 9 a.m. on 23rd July 2022. Typically, a freight forwarder or carrier will be able to issue a booking confirmation in a matter of a few hours within the same day the booking was requested. This is mostly the case if there is sufficient lead time given to the carrier, as the carrier is required to verify space and equipment availability. A booking confirmation may be returned later than intended if the booking was made closer to the vessel departure date. This is also the case in market with equipment or space shortage. Therefore, it is always recommended to place booking well in advance to avoid any potential delay. In the event of unforeseen circumstance, the carrier may also move the booking to the next sailing date. And that is the final step in booking. If you like this video, please leave a like and subscribe for more content.